guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and managing money. Today's video is going to be closing out my weekly budget and starting up a new budget. I have not done this on my channel for a while, but I did get a couple of comments of people asking me to do this process, or they don't remember me doing it before, and I usually just don't do it because it does make the video a little bit longer. But I am going to start bringing that back to my channel because I want to be as detailed as possible with my budget planner, just so you can see the process and really get what I'm doing. So this is my happy planner. It is a happy planner big, and it's franken-planned into 4 sections. I have a tool cover on the front, and it's just because I love the sleekness of the tool cover. If you are interested in this cover, it will be in the description box, and it has pockets on the inside. The first section I have is my catch-all planner, and that's my hourly happy planner that I plan in on Sundays. So I will link that video. I will link all of the videos in the description box that pertain to each one of these planners. The second planner I have in here is my business planner, and I do have videos on this planner too. The third one I have though is my work planner. It's for my church, and I don't have any videos on that one because it has some sensitive information in there. And the last one is my budget planner. So this is where we're going to be today. We are looking at how to close out a weekly budget and start a new budget. So I'm going to be doing that for this upcoming week, and payday is actually tomorrow. So I do like to do my budget the day before actual payday. So we are planning out the week of the 8th through the 14th. Well, really it's the 8th through the 15th because I do start a new budget on Tuesday because that's the day that I get paid. So my paydays always go from one Tuesday, which is the 9th, all the way through the 15th. I'm including the 8th because this charge has not come out of my account yet. So in order to close out my budget, the first thing that I do is I am going to go to my expense tracker. So there are 2 places where I'm going to look. It's going to be my expense tracker, and it's going to be my paycheck budget, which is this one. So it was the June 2nd budget that we're going to be looking at, and what I basically do here is I keep track of all of my expenses. This is everything that comes out of my bill account. I keep it on this sheet. So I have 2 main accounts where money is coming out of. Everything else has transfers in and out of, but the 2 accounts where I actually have money come out of and I'm actually swiping or using a card for those accounts is my bill account and my spending account. So with my spending account, it's where me and my husband have debit cards to that account, and we are doing transactions out of that account. This is where our daily spending occurs. With our bill account, only bills come out of this account, and then I will transfer money into each one of these and then keep track of how much is coming out of each account based on this sheet. So the first thing that I like to do when I'm closing out a budget is look at all of the bills that came out of a particular week. So the first thing I'm doing is reviewing the bills that came out that were expected, and everything that's in black is everything that I expected to come out. I had already planned for it, and I'm looking at the amounts and all of them match. The only thing that I did not cover was our health insurance, and we're going to cover that this week. And that is because the reason I didn't cover that is because I did have some extra expenses come out that I was not expecting, and I had some additional expenses that kind of came up. The first thing was a Netflix. Our Netflix bill, I'm guessing our dates have kind of shifted, and I didn't have it on my monthly overview correctly. So it was supposed to come out on the 4th, and somehow I missed it. I did not add it to my monthly calendar here. So since I didn't add it, I didn't have it on my paycheck budget, and once it hit, I saw that it came out of this account, and we always have a buffer in the account, but once I see it, I like to make sure that I mark down that it actually came out and put it on here, so that when I do my July budget, I will see it on here and actually add it to my monthly calendar, and I will not forget. So that's the first thing that happened. The next thing was I had a couple of charges come through. We ended up getting some additional toys for our daughters. We're trying to keep them very entertained during this summer with us not having a summer camp. So I decided to shift paying our health insurance so that we could get some additional supplies and some toys and some things for our daughters to keep them entertained this summer. It was a decision that I made at the very last minute, and sometimes those things happen, and I will shift expenses if those things happen. So we did $150 on different supplies that we're gonna need for the summer. And I also had our student loan came out, and I made an extra payment on our credit card. So because the student loan came out and Netflix came out, and I decided to do this for the toys, I knew I did not have enough. I had $375 in the account. I didn't have enough to cover the health insurance, but I could make an extra payment on our credit card. So that's what I did. I just decided to make an extra payment on our credit card of $250. And now we have a balance of $125.98 in the account. That's the amount that's going to roll over. So what I did on this part is I basically just checked off everything that was paid, and as you can see, the health insurance is not checked off. So I'm going to roll that over to this week. They give us a grace period. I believe it's like 10 or 15 days grace period for the health insurance. So I knew it wouldn't be an issue to pay it in this upcoming week, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So what I like to do is just exit off in red. That lets me know that it was not paid, and then I'm just going to write it in here. Doesn't matter where I write it, it's just kind of to let me know that I paid it in this week instead of this week. And so now I know I have a balance of $125.98 that's going to roll over into the new week. The next place where I'm going to look is my expense tracker. So with my expense tracker, I do have categories of every single thing that we have done this week. And the thing I'm going to do here is basically add up our categories and see how much we have spent in each area. Y'all already know, I'm gonna let you know, you don't have to talk about me in the comments. Food is gonna be a very high expense for us. We do like to eat out a lot. And so a lot of times I will pull back on food and tell, you know, and restrict us. And then other times I do like to enjoy life, so we will eat out. I will keep track of it though, and anytime we're going too far in one direction, then I will cut back. So the way I like to do this is basically I'm going to look at all of these categories, I'm going to write them down at the bottom here, and then I'm going to add up how much we spent on each category. As you can see, I already know the rollover balance because I'm keeping track of my balance every single day. The balance is $17.71. That's the amount that's ending for this week. And I put we here, that stands for week ending. And that's basically how I know how much is going to roll over. I usually put expenses, it could be in red or black. It's kind of just depends on what pen I have at the time. But a lot of times I do like to put a majority of them in red if it's an expense, and then put it in black if it's income. But as you can see, I had a black pen up here. So it really doesn't matter. It was actually the end of May. It was like the last week of May to the 8th of June. This was my spending for those basically like 2 to 3 weeks. So I have a bunch of different highlighters here, and I like to allocate a different category to different highlighters. That just makes it a little bit easier for me to see. So I have 5 categories, and I'm going to pull out 5 highlighters. We're gonna do education in green. That's gonna be our first one, is education in green. So now I'm just gonna go through all of these and highlight any one that has education. So those 2 are the only ones under the category of education, and this is because my husband is in school. So whenever he has to purchase books or do anything like get notebooks and stuff for his school, he will spend money on that. So he bought a book from Amazon and he bought some books from Thrift Books, and the total there is $59.91. The next category is a business expense, and this is a business expense that actually should be coming from my business account. I'm going to have to change it. Me putting it here will just basically remind myself to actually go in and change up the subscription. And the same thing goes for my other subscriptions. As you can see, I have a Hulu subscription that's coming out of the wrong account, and we also have, I think this was like our apps. This might be the Apple, because it says it's a game. I might have to look that up and see exactly what it was. But once again, that should be coming out of our bill account. So those two, I'm going to add up and put them under subscriptions, but once again, they're coming out of the wrong account. So I'll just go in and change that. But it was $15.98. The next one is food. This is going to be the one, because this is where all of our money basically goes. Oh no, this is books. So I actually had to correct the education account because it's $83.12 that it was spent on education. Travel is $30.04, and that's basically just gas that we spent for the week. And it looks like everything else was food. So now I'm just gonna add that up. This was over the last 2 weeks, and basically we spent $450.65, which means the only category we went over is in the food category, because we are allocated to spend $200 a week, and we basically spent $225 a week. And this has been our like constant struggle of trying to make sure we stay on track with food. But that's why I do this, so that I can, you know, get a handle on how we spend our food. But the $17.71 is what's in the account right now. That's the amount that's gonna roll over, and I know how much we have spent in each category, and I know what changes I need to make for next week. So that's how I close out the current week. Now what I'm going to do is work on the next budget. So I'm gonna pull out my monthly sheet so that I can have it next to me and see what I need to add on to here. I'm also going to pull out an expense tracker sheet so that I can add it behind this one, because I realized I want to have one so I can close out my week a little bit easier. You see how I was kind of struggling trying to remember if my expense tracker was over 1 week or 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna make sure I add it at the top and do it for the current week. So this particular check is going to be through June 8th to June 15th. My income has changed. I know for this week it's going to be different. I'm expecting $22.50. You know, my first 4 lines are the same. It's gonna be our tithe offering, long-term savings, short-term. Short-term is basically our sinking funds, and investing. So these top lines, they never change. I do them every single time I get any type of money. And no matter if I'm saving $5 or, you know, $150, I'm always going to save something. Next thing is our food, and we have to cover Entergy, have our car insurance, health insurance, and let's see where we are when we do that. So this is going to be $225. I'm gonna start off with the $22.50, then I'm gonna add up everything or take away everything and see how much we're gonna have left over. So we're gonna have $54.10 left. Now, this is in addition to what we already had. So my last paycheck budget, I already have $125.98 in the account. So that's plus the $54.10. You see how I got that? I'm just adding it up so I know how much is exactly in the account. So it should be $180.08. Okay, so the way I did this is I have the $22.50, that's the income, but I also have $125.98 that's in that account. So the total is going to be $2,375.98. Now when we look at the expenses, after I add up all of this, I should get the exact same amount. I am a penny off. So I was a penny off, so this should have been $180.09. And that gives me the balance, $2,375.98. Basically how I'm going to keep track moving forward is this is the balance, this is how much should be in the account after all of the bills are paid. If anything extra hits this account, then I will keep track underneath here. I see, and then at the end of the week, I'm going to see what that balance is and then roll it over into the next paycheck. And then the next thing that I'm doing, of course, is going over to my expense tracker, and I'm going to do the same thing. Checking out the balance here, which it is the $17.71. That's the rollover, so I'm just going to add it up here. I'll put the date and then put $17.71. And then when I add the $200, because you know I'm going to add $200 that I have here for food, I'm going to add it into this account, and then I'm going to keep a rolling balance here. Basically how this goes and how I roll over the balances and am able to keep track on my expense tracker. And then of course you guys know I always update my debt tracker and my savings tracker at the beginning of the sheet. Oh, it looks like I think I've already done it. As you can see, I had $51.37 that already went in, $3,221.14. So that's gonna be the ending balance for this week. At the end of every week, I'm always moving money over. So at the end of this week, around Thursday or Friday, another $50 is going to move into this account because it happens automatically. As you can see, it's on my budget, but it happens automatically. So I hope that helps you guys as you are, closing out your weekly budgets if you've never done the process before. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about this process, and I can definitely do more videos on this topic and show you how I do them more in the future. Until next time, guys, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.